I'm Summan Kandola, and the past few years of uncertainty and chaos have left me deeply unmotivated and made me lose my zest for life. As somebody who is genuinely curious and inquisitive about the world and the people in it, this was really hard for me to digest. So I knew something needed to change, and that's how Monday Motivation was born. Monday Motivation explores the tenacity and champion mindset behind everyday people experiencing the fight of their lifetime. So come with me as I borrow some hope, courage, and perspective from brave and inspiring individuals. Meet Stu, an adventurous and community-driven soul who's celebrating 10 years sober. Stu's path shows us that despite the love, support, and privilege someone may have, they can still lose everything that matters most to them to an addiction. As somebody who believed that he would just one day wake up with the life of his dreams, he now co-creates a reality he's proud of living. This is his story.
My name's Stu, and I've been clean since December 19th, 2012.
What got you into your addiction?
People have asked me that, like, was I trying to escape something? But not really, like I had everything I could ask for. And it's not like I had any well, at least my idea of a precursor to addiction or substance use or anything like that. Like I really stand by, especially in high school years, I liked getting high and I liked the thrill of it. I guess like kind of grade 10 where it's like I'm using all kinds of substances, heavily going through school and kind of just scraping by school. And then I think what really started more of a downhill in grade 11, I got expelled from my first high school and really changed all my friend group to people who were using drugs. The idea of going to university, getting a real job, that went out the window. I was living in an apartment in North Van because my parents couldn't handle me anymore. It's like there'd be times where I like really started to kind of go like, I don't want to do this, I want to stop. Like the kind of stuff where it's like, this is the last night, I'm not going to do this again. And then like an hour later, I'd be driving to my dealer's house or I'd throw everything out and be like, that's it, I'm done. And then trying to find what I threw out kind of stuff. Just going like, why can't you stop? Why are you doing this? Stop, like this is going to go bad and you know it's going to go bad. My dad and mom were very successful. In my head, I don't know how I thought this, that someday I would just wake up with that stuff. Like it would just somehow this would change, that it wasn't like I'm stuck doing this. And there was a lot of years like that, I just thought I'd wake up with a career. I'd wake up with a family, I'd wake up with a house, I'd wake up with the things I'd want. And this is just something I'm doing. I was about $130. Skinny as hell, pale skin. I remember just sitting there and just like bawling my eyes out thinking I'm done. So I did what any grown man would do. I texted my mom and asked for help and saying like, hey, I'm done, I need help. I stayed clean for about 10 months and ended up relapsing. And then the relapse was way worse.
Than before?
Than way before, yeah. Prior to, like I had a full-time job. My parents were being a little bit codependent and paying my rent and my phone bill and my car insurance and probably putting gas and food in my fridge. You know, keeping me alive long enough, but they just don't want me in their house kind of thing. But this time I didn't have that. So I didn't have the free rent. I didn't have the supply of drugs. I didn't be able to go to their house and steal money. So it was way more of a grind. Really, the consequences that led me to getting clean was more of kind of like an emotional bottom. It wasn't like, hey, throughout my teenage years, yes, I got arrested a number of times. There was a few times I had to go to court for like petty things, like possession and some other things. But it wasn't like I had an overdose or jail time or really bad car accident or anything like that. More the consequences I would think would be kind of like, I don't have a relationship with my family. My sister and I don't talk. My brother and I don't talk. My parents are scared of what's going on. I don't like myself. I was trying to stop using heroin and I tried everything but like quitting kind of thing. Like I remember waking up and withdrawals from opiates, it's horrible. It's called being dope sick. And I remember it was like really the first time I had gotten actually sick. So not only am I know that I'm physically dependent and I don't want to do it anymore, but I have to. And then also thinking I'm not going to get an education. I'm not going to be traveling. I'm not going to ever have a family. I'm never going to have a dog. I'm never going to have some of these things. And also, I at this point now hate myself. There comes December 19th, 2012 is when I went back to treatment for the second time. It's like some of the things that people do in addiction, it can be super shameful, right? Like you could tell something to maybe a normal individual out there and be like, what's wrong with you? kind of thing. And then be able to share it with like your peers and say like, yeah, I get that. I did too. Like, yeah, you tanked it as a son. You weren't the brother you want to be. You weren't the friend you want to be. It's like, do you want to be stuck in that and be a victim to it and sit in the feelings that go with it? Or do you want to do something different and change? So it wasn't about just getting to a place of being like scared of relapsing. It was like finding ways where it's like to counter it, like finding a life that's more enjoyable, finding friends, finding meaning, building better relationships, repairing the relationships with my family. I finished treatment 5 months, volunteered at the youth program, and then they hired me on as a support worker. My mentors at the time, a lot of them were just talking about like the excitement of life and how important that is, that if you're not having fun clean, what's the point? Not that every day clean is fun, not that every day in recovery, whether you're an addict or non-addict, like life is life and stuff happens, but what's the point if you're not having fun with it?
Is there something that you've said or someone has said to you when it comes to making that shift or in recovery that's really empowered you or someone else?
I just come back from a relapse. I'm sitting intaking back into treatment, and a person I really look up to, and she sits down beside me and she's like, oh, how's it going, Stu? It's so good to see you. What's new? And I'm like, well, I'm intaking back into treatment. She stops for a second, thinks about it, and says, well, I'm sorry you did that to yourself. So many people have said that, like my dad, my mom, my siblings, coaches, counselors, judges, my lawyer, all this type of stuff have said like, you're putting yourself in this position, or in other words it is. But it's the first time where I really internalized this, where it's like, yeah, I've put myself here and I have the ability to take myself out of here. It's like when I was 16 or 15 and thinking one day I'm gonna wake up with stuff. It's like, no, I have to put the work in. It's the same thing for anything else. I want to keep my relationship. I have to put the work into it. If I want to be a dog owner, I have to take him out even at 2 in the morning when he wants to go to the bathroom. If I want to keep my job, there's work involved. I got to get up, I got to go to work. And it was just the first time where it's like, yeah, I have the ability to take responsibility for this. I have the ability to take responsibility for my life. And it doesn't have to be a suffer. It doesn't have to be a grind, but I can enjoy it.
Yeah,
right?
Radical responsibility is beautiful.